Hi, this is Elizabeth Cermak from Your Highest Light, here every Friday at 11:11 to talk to you about your favorite topic and mine, attracting more beautiful things into your life. And if you are joining me, please let me know where you're from. Drop me an emoji. I don't know how this weird filter came up on Facebook. How interesting is that? It's kind of cool. I'm on Instagram and Facebook right now. So, here every Friday at 11:11 to talk to you about attracting more beautiful things into your life. I am a life coach, a master life coach, and a certified angel tarot card reader. I try to be outside as much as I possibly can. It's a little bit wet and icky out today, but I still came out for our session today. So last week we talked about success. So I hope everybody is feeling nice and successful and knowing that success is an inside job. Success has nothing to do with what is going on outside of you. Success is only a state of mind. So today we're going to be talking about happiness, and we're going to be talking about how to be happy. So if you're joining me now, go ahead and drop me an emoji. Let me know where you're from or how you're feeling today. Come on, Prudence. Prudence is always with me. She is my dog. We got into a little bit of a fight earlier because she got in the mud and then jumped on my white shirt, all over my white shirt. So, those are the types of things we're going to talk about today, actually. So happiness, if there's one thing I have learned from my spiritual journey, it is that happiness is a choice. And I know this sounds super cliche, but there's a reason why people say it, and it's because it is super true. It is so true. Happiness is a choice. Now, to know that is nothing, because I went for years knowing that. And I actually think that some of us have to go through a phase of knowing that, but to know it is nothing. And to know it actually, sometimes when you can't apply it, can cause more unhappiness. So to know it is nothing, but to actually, so we think about knowing it, thinking about it being up here in our heads, but actually bringing it down here in our hearts and living it and believing it and knowing it in a different way, believing it and living it is different. So think about it as knowing it is really nothing. Knowing it is nothing, but bring it down here, bring that energy of knowing that happiness is a choice into your heart, and living it and believing it is everything. So not until you've actually experienced it and will you really believe it. So the extent to which you believe it is the extent to how happy you can be. So if you believe it, the extent to which it sounds like it's all or nothing, but it's really not. If you believe it just kind of half-heartedly, it will work sometimes, but if you believe it to an extent, if you have conviction that happiness is a choice and you know this, that is everything. Marianne Williamson always talks about how if you don't meditate, if you don't have a spiritual practice, you will be bogged down by the psychic energy of this world. You will be bogged down by the stress and the psychic energy of the world. So you have to choose happiness all the time. Okay, so if you're joining, hi Shataro, hi Dorothy. I can see somebody else. I don't know, the Facebook is a little bit different. So it's so good. Hi Jen, it's so good to see you guys today. Drop me an emoji, send me a wave, let me know where you're from. And I just learned that if I'm supposed to say this, if you're watching it in the replay, do #replay. So we're talking about happiness and how it's a choice, and we're going to talk about how we can control this more than we think. I used to think I was a victim of my thoughts. I thought I was a victim of my feelings. I thought if I woke up at a bad mood or if I woke up anxious, that I was basically screwed for the day. I was at the mercy of my feelings. And now sometimes I do still fall into that. But now I'm able to realize that my feelings are a choice, and I'm able to control them better and choose what thoughts I want. Because remember, thoughts cause emotions. So whatever we're thinking is going to cause how we're feeling. It sounds so obvious and so true, but it's actually, so many people don't, even very, very highly intelligent people, don't always make that connection and don't always realize what's happening, because we feel like we're a victim of the world. We feel like we're a victim of our thoughts, and we're actually not. So, okay, things in the world will not ever turn out perfectly how you want them to. I think we think if we get super spiritual, if we're going to, or say we're just interested in self-help and we're going to change our lives and we're going to make our lives better and everything's going to be great. We're going to make everything just how we want it. And yeah, you can do that. You can create a more beautiful life for yourself. Obviously, that's what I help people do. But every day is not going to go exactly how you want. You're not going to have a good hair day every day. People are not going to say exactly what you want them to say. Although I will argue that a good hair day, that your hair doesn't look much different on a good hair day than a bad hair day. that it's your vibe, that it's the eyes you're seeing through, that it's your vision. So when you're in a high vibe, those little irritants of like your hair not working out right, I keep talking about hair, your hair not working out right, or your outfit, something might be like, bugging you, or your husband might be saying something that's annoying. So when you're in a high vibe, those irritants don't get to you as much because your vibe is so much bigger than that. So I would argue that your hair might look the same. I remember one time I was dating somebody in my 20s and I would complain about how I looked all the time. And, one day I'd be like, oh, I look horrible. And then, one day I would think I would look better or whatever. And I remember one time he said to me, you look like yourself every day. I thought, what, really? I thought I looked really different every day. But no, it was the vibe I was in. So I saw myself differently through different glasses. Have we ever looked at a picture of ourselves and hated how we looked, and then maybe a couple years later you look back and you're like, oh, I didn't look as bad as I thought, or maybe I look beautiful. I didn't realize it. It's the vibe. It's the eyes that you're seeing through. Are you seeing through critical eyes, or are you seeing through loving eyes? Are you giving all those little irritants? How much power are you giving them right now, the little things? Or are you giving power to a more loving, broader perspective? So like I said, when you're in a high vibe, those irritants are still there. You're just not obsessing over them and you're not focusing on them. So I want you to think about what are you focusing on now? What are you giving your focus to? So you can control your vibe. This is what and sometimes people will tell me this and I am like, no, I can't, So I understand. I have done that before. So I understand that if I'm telling you that you can control your vibe and you are like, I understand if you feel resistance to that. So go ahead. That's okay. Just let yourself feel that. Because like I said, I used to feel like I was a victim of my feelings all the time. So the key is to choose again. A Course in Miracles would say to choose again. So all you need to know, the next time you feel yourself in a low vibe, I want you to recognize it. Recognize that you have detoured into a low vibe. And A Course in Miracles says that there are two emotions, fear and love. That fear is the opposite of love. So if you notice that you have detoured into a low vibe where things are bothering you, where you're obsessing over small things, I want you to say out loud, first of all, recognize it and choose again. And say out loud, I recognize that I have detoured into fear. Now I choose again. This time I choose love. I will write that down below this, or I'll put it on a post today. I recognize that I have detoured into fear. Now I choose again, and I choose love. So think about this. Love does not obsess. Love is expansive. It feels huge. It does not criticize. Judgment feels small. Judgment or fear. Fear feels small, or judgment. Fear or judgment can't do much. Love can do anything. As the Beatles says, love can change the world, right? Love can do anything. Fear and judgment keeps you small. So I would love to know, hi Bob, so good to see you. I would love to know how you guys are feeling today and what you think about what I'm saying. Let's see here. Thanks Bob for tagging me in that Ringo thing, by the way. I had to tell you that. My husband and I are going to see Ringo Starr soon in September. So anyway, okay, so like I said, with your love, you can change the world, just like the Beatles said. So there's always going to be the voice of fear. You can download whatever voice you want to download, or whatever thought or whatever emotion you want to download, whatever frequency you want to download, you can download at any time. You can download the voice of God or the voice of love, or you can download the voice of fear, the voice of judgment. That is always going to be there. But when your vibe is higher, when you're in a bigger, more loving vibe, that stuff, that lower energy stuff will not get to you. But you can download it at any time. Just because, you'll change, but the world is that stuff is always going to be there. So one of the things that I wanted to say to you guys today, I'm just looking at my notes just to make sure that I am remembering everything. Okay, so one of the things that you can also do, so if you recognize that you're in a lower vibe, I talked about how you say to yourself, I recognize that I'm choosing fear, now I choose again, this time I choose love. The other thing you can do I'm going to talk about one other thing you can do to raise your vibe, two other things you can do to raise your vibe. One thing is, think of a higher vibe thought. So when you are like I said, thoughts cause emotions, right? So sometimes we're not realize what we're thinking. So if we're thinking something, now this is going to sound dramatic, but it might ring true to you, or it might not. You might be thinking something less dramatic than this, but you might be thinking something like, oh, I hate life. I hate this. I hate, this sucks, life sucks. The world, it's too hard. I don't want to do this. Those types of things you might be thinking, which are causing you to feel horrible. So anybody thinking that stuff all day long, or, I hate how I look, or this is just going to be, it's the same thing day after day. If you're thinking that stuff, it's going to suck. You're going to feel pretty sucky. So I want you to pick a higher vibe thought. What is a higher vibe thought than the one you're thinking? So I don't expect you to go from life sucks to life is beautiful, but something that you believe that's a little bit higher vibe. So one thing I wrote down right before doing this is a high vibe thought that I like. And feel free to write it down. You get out your pen and paper, write it down, or I can list this in my post again for today. So every day, every moment is a new opportunity. I can choose now to shift to love. Anything is possible, and I open myself to miracles. Because I really truly believe that. I'm going to read it again. Every day, every moment is a new opportunity. I can choose now to shift to love. Anything is possible. I open myself to miracles. Now, I believe that anything is possible. My sister shared with me this, I think it was the day before yesterday, Strawberry Shortcake came out 37 years ago that day. And the beginning of the Strawberry Shortcake cartoon, she's coming out of her strawberry house. And she's like, what's a wonderful day? Anything could happen today. And I'm like, that's back when cartoons were great. But I love Strawberry Shortcake, so no wonder why I totally love that. But it's true. Anything could happen when you wake up. If you're waking up thinking everything's going to be the same, then everything's going to be the same. But if you're waking up thinking miracles could happen today, anything could happen. Anything is possible. I really believe that. And if you really believe that, and if you're thinking that, if you're believing it, why aren't you thinking it? Start thinking it. Okay? So yeah, that's why I love Instagram and Facebook stories, because it's like, okay, what's my story going to be today? I really have no idea what my story is going to look like by the end of the day. And then I like going back and looking at it, like that was my story today. Finding the little miracles and taking a picture of them during the day. Little things that make you happy. Do an Instagram or Facebook story. It totally raises your vibe. Okay, so we're talking about raising vibes. The last thing I want to leave you with is, if you need a spiritual practice, I don't even know if I want to call it a spiritual practice, whatever you want to call it, you need some time to go within, to simplify what's going on in your mind. Okay, so you need a time, you need to set a time each day, I would say 10 to 20 minutes, to go within and to simplify what is going on in your mind. So hopefully when you simplify what's going on in your mind, you start simplifying your environment and you start inviting more miracles in your life. You make more room, you get rid of the chaos, and you make more room for miracles. So I cannot stress enough that it's so important every day. I was just talking to a client the other day, and she meditates regularly, and she was saying how you can't just meditate in the middle of a panic attack. It's not going to work. You can't wait until the panic attack to meditate. You got to meditate every day, and then you're going to have less panic attacks. It's holistic. So you need to set aside a time in order to control those thoughts and be able to choose again. It's very important to start going within and simplifying what is going on in your mind. And so I cannot encourage you to do this enough. Now, there's many ways to do this, and one wonderful way to do this is to go on my website, yourhighestlight.com, sign up for my mailing list, and you will get a free meditation calendar, free 6 weeks meditation calendar. Now, if you are already on my mailing list and you haven't gotten that calendar, this is something new that I started, so just send me an email, Elizabeth@yourhighestlight.com, and I will send you the 6-week meditation calendar. Okay, so this calendar really will help you get on a path of just setting aside that 10 minutes a day, and it will help guide you along, because sometimes people will set aside 10 minutes a day to go within, and they might not know where to go in their mind. So this will help guide you along, and it will help you manifest some goods into your life as well, or whatever you want into your life. So that's always good. We always want that, right? Manifest a more beautiful life. So I can't encourage you enough. Go ahead, go to my website, yourhighestlight.com. you have to scroll to the bottom right now. I'm working on getting a pop-up so it comes up so you can, don't even talk to me about it, so you can just enter it right in. But go ahead and enter in your name and your email address, and I will send you your free meditation calendar. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, I work with clients all the time, coaching them on how to have more beautiful thoughts, how to feed the light in their mind and starve the darkness in their mind. And I, like I said, I used to be a therapist, and so I have a lot of experience working with people like this. So if you need to set up, I have a lot of coaching packages right now. I have one package that's going down to $59 a session. This is affordable. I want this to be affordable because people think life coaching, oh, it's so expensive. No, I want this to be affordable. I have a package right now that goes down to $59 a session. Okay, so please contact me and let's set up a session, and I can't wait to meet you and to see what kind of beautiful things you want for your life. Okay, so I hope you guys, this served you today. We're gonna do we're gonna pull a card for the end of this, for the week. So just to summarize what we talked about today, happiness is a choice. If you recognize that you have steered, you know, what we talk about, A Course in Miracles talks about two emotions, love and fear. If you feel like you have detoured into fear, choose again. Out loud, say, I realize, you know, witness that I realize that I have detoured into fear. I choose again. This time I choose love. Pick a higher vibe thought. Pick a thought that is higher vibe than the thought you are thinking. Mine was, let's read it again. Every day, every moment is a new opportunity. I can choose to shift to love. Anything is possible. I open myself to miracles. I open myself to miracles. If you go every day and think everything's going to be the same, nothing's going to happen today, that's what's going to happen. If you truly believe anything is possible, then start thinking it. Start thinking what you really truly believe is the truth, okay? So I hope that served you. And then, like I said, the meditation calendar and a one-on-one session with me, contact me for that. Okay, so let's see what card is going to be for the week this week. Oh my gosh, Prudence was like driving me crazy before this video. She wanted to be on my lap right now so bad, and she was so muddy. Okay, Release. This is a card I've been getting quite a few times, and all different decks. Because I got this card, I think just this morning from another deck. And so it says, Release says, let go of the past. An ending that makes way for new opportunities. Time to move on. So this card means let go of the past. Basically, it means that something is ending in your life and let it go. It's going to make room. It's kind of like what I talked about today about clearing your environment so new stuff can come in. I talk about simplifying your thoughts so you can have more beautiful thoughts. So let go, release whatever it is that you need to release right now. Let go. If something's ending, it's okay to be sad, but only to an extent. You don't want to stay in that sadness too long. You don't want to try to hold on to the past. You want to move forward because your future has something better coming. Okay, so that's what this card says. And then let's pull one of Gabby's cards because I always like to pull one of her cards. I'm also offering, this is not on my website, I'm offering email readings for, let's see, at $30 for a 4-card reading. So you can just simply email me and I will send you a 4-card reading for $30, which is a great deal. And my email readings are pretty awesome, if I do say so myself, because I send you a picture of all the cards with a detailed explanation, so you have it with you in writing instead of just sometimes, you know, I will do that in a phone reading as well, but I do it way more detailed in an email reading. So people find that helpful. So, hi, Dr. Segal. So good to see you. I'm going to be seeing you this week. Okay, so let's see what this card has for the week. What this deck says for the week. This is from Gabby Bernstein, The Universe Has Your Back. It says, hope is a conduit for miracles. So that goes perfectly with what I talked about today, because I talked about how I open myself to miracles. And if you wake up in the morning and you feel like nothing's going to happen, you feel like everything's going to be the same, that's what's going to happen. But if you wake up like Strawberry Shortcake cartoon and think anything's possible, anything could happen today. And I believe if you're watching this, you probably really do believe that anything's possible, that, you know, miracles happen every day. Open yourself up to it and start thinking it. So hope is a conduit for miracles. So choose a higher vibe thought. A higher vibe thought always involves hope, you know. So if you're in a low vibe, realize what you're thinking, and choose a higher vibe thought, which always involves hope. And then in order to really stick with those thoughts though, that's a quick fix, but in order to really stick with those higher vibe thoughts, you really need to get yourself in a meditation practice, something where you go inward every day and simplify what's going on in your minds. Okay, so I love you guys so much. Hi Jen, so good to see you. It's almost Paul McCartney time. So excited about that. So I will see you guys next week at 11:11. We're going to talk about like what we do every Friday at 11:11, attracting more beautiful things into your life. And if you have any questions for me, Elizabeth@yourhighestlight.com. Go to my website, yourhighestlight.com. Sign up for my email list to get your meditation calendar for free. And I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend wherever you are. I hope the weather is beautiful. And I will see you next week. Peace and love. Signing off, me and Prudence. Bye, guys. Bye. Bye, Aunt Jude. Good to see you. It was so fun today. Bye, guys. Love ya.